Amid escalating tensions between Afghanistan and Pakistan near the Durand line, Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi is briefing the media as we speak. Remember, this briefing comes amid the row over not allowing women journalists in a previous press conference that was held. Right now, as we speak, there are women journalists who are present at this press conference. Take a look at what is happening there.
زموږ ملګرو دا فکر کړی و چې باید یوازې هغه کسان راشي چې هغوی دعوت شوي نو ځکه هغه محدودیت راغلی و نور کومه خاصه پرېکړه نه وه شوې.
Our colleagues had decided to send invitation to a specific list of journalists and it was no other intention other than that.
مهرباني.
Independent journalist. One question, you went and met with people in Deoband, you have close links there. Whether it's Deoband, whether it's Iran, whether it's Syria, whether it is Saudi, women and young girls are not stopped from getting education, not stopped from going to schools and colleges. Why are you doing this in Afghanistan? When will they be allowed to go back and get their right to education? And secondly, do you have any regret over the brutal killing of internationally acclaimed photojournalist and my colleague Dali Siddiqui? अगर आप उर्दू में ऐसे बोल सकते हैं
वो ये सर ज़्यादा उनका जो बंद करा रहे हैं हमारे इराक में सऊदी और यहाँ पर सब लड़ाई कर रहे हैं सब करना लगी है कर बता दें और बंदा ये ताकि आया जाने से और बगैर इतना बहुत नक्शा कर रहा है बनाए ताकि बड़ी
اصلا دیک شک نشته چې موږ د نړۍ د بېلابېلو علماو او مدارسو سره تعلق لرو او د دیوبند سره تعلق ډېر زیات دی. په افغانستان کې تر کومه حد د تعلیم مسله ده موږ اوس هم 10 میلیونه شاګردان لرو. په دې 10 میلیونه شاګردانو کې 2.8 میلیونه نجونې دي او دیني مدارسو کې هم درسونه تر انتها پورې دوام لري. هلته په ځینو مخصوصو شعبو کې محدودیتونه شته ولې د دې معنا دا نه ده چې موږ د علم او د تعلیم خلاف یو. په افغانستان کې د ښځو تعلیم حرام نه ده بلل شوی بلکې تر امر صادق پورې ځینې شعبې معطله شوي دي.
There is no doubt that Afghanistan has relations with ulama and madaris across the world and with Deoband perhaps greater than others. With regards to education, currently at this very moment we have 10 million students attending schools and other education institutes, of which 2.8 million are women and girls. In religious seminaries, these education opportunities are all the way to the graduation levels, to highest levels. There is only limitations in specific parts, and that does not mean that we oppose education. We have not declared it religiously haram, but it has been postponed until second order.
او په تیرو څلورو لسیزو کې په افغانستان کې شدید جنگونه تیر شوي دي. 2 واره افغانستان اشغال شوی دی.
All right, so that was Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi. Remember, this press conference has come after entire controversy had erupted over women journalists not being invited to that previous press conference. Now, of course, the Taliban Foreign Minister answering that, responding to that, saying that that was a technical issue that happened. A list was presented and a technical issue happened. And in fact, back in his country, in Afghanistan, out of millions of children who are going to school, 2.8 million of them are girls. Let me go across to Sahil Sohail, who's joining me on the phone line. Sahil, the Taliban foreign minister doing yet another press conference here in New Delhi. Of course, while he spoke about the India-Afghanistan ties and the kind of deals that have been made between the two countries, he's also addressed that particular issue that erupted of women journalists not being invited today. Of course, they are present and they're asking questions on the very issue.
Well, yes, Afghanistan is facing, in fact, criticism and has been facing criticism when it comes to the issues of women. They, in fact, have this, tendency against the women, and that's why at international level as well. So when Foreign Minister of the country was in India, in fact, during his first press conference, that these allegations came out that women journalists from New Delhi, they were not allowed to be part of that press conference. So now the minister, in fact, defending or speaking on that issue, because it was all expected that the issue will come up in this second press conference. But Afghanistan has been facing these issues when it comes to women, when it comes to handling the issues of women back in Afghanistan as well. So as of now, what really remains the focus of what it appears is that the foreign minister is in India and he wants to basically to streamline or to make the relations between India and Afghanistan to a level while both the countries basically have a diplomatic and other sort of relations. That's why the foreign minister is mentioning that the diplomats from Kabul will now be in New Delhi and like that. But at the same time, we have seen also tensions between Afghanistan and Pakistan building up. Now, day after Pakistan basically violated the airspace and carried out a strike in Afghanistan. And after that, we had seen in the dead of night how Afghan troops basically retaliated, carried out strikes, and have occupied some of the forward posts of Pakistani army. So as of now, what it appears and what it looks like is that the Afghan government, the Taliban government in Afghanistan, is trying to streamline the relations with government of India to better the relations in terms of diplomatic and other impact sectors. That's why the minister is focusing on, in fact, bettering the relations when it comes to diplomatic relations. But at the same time, the issue remains that why female journalists from New Delhi were not allowed to be part of that press conference. It remains a core issue, and it basically brings up the issue of treating of women in Afghanistan by the Taliban government.
That's right, Sahil. So, of course, Taliban reaching out, of course, they want better foreign ties as well, particularly with India. And a plethora of issues now that plague Taliban. Of course, we'll keep getting our viewers more on what the Foreign Minister Muttaqi has been saying at this particular press conference. Right now, it's time for a short break, viewers.